think that it's so modern and we're so advanced and we're so much better than those apes of a few hundred years ago. Really? Oh, okay then. Well, here in Berlin in 1936 advertisement, a first television talk station of the German Empire's postal service in Berlin. From here, you can not only speak to your bride in Leipzig or Munich, but also see her for public usage 1936. So it's basically a Skype call, a video conference in 1936. Now, they're not exactly pocket size behind these screens, these monitors. We picture what they look like behind you. They look a bit like PCs. But they're not small devices, but the fact still remains. They have Skype. And here's some of the technology advertisements of the day here for an antenna. 1935, a control room here. One in 1935, a video conference. Video conferences here in 1928. Almost 100 years ago, people were Skyping or watching real-time video calls. Also here, a video conference for what looks like a classroom of boys in 1936. And here in 1935, a video control room or television control room. Here's some advertisements of the day. Show you a nice comfortable chair, probably beautiful stereo speakers, and a crisp, clean image of your wife who's several hundred miles away. No problem whatsoever. Now, 1936, okay, but we also know all technology released for the public usage has been previously tested and used extensively by military in many wars during the preceding 150 years. So what year does that take us to? Well, 1936 minus the 150 years takes us to 1786. As it's no secret, lenses and electric cables existed long before 1786. Then imagine Queen Victoria or even Napoleon sitting in their chairs, in their palaces, watching on a wall how battles in Tartaria were fought and listening to their generals or even giving them orders real time. Makes you say, why not? Nothing new under the sun. And just so you don't think it's out of the bounds of possibility, here in Wales Online, you can see a spyglass that was once used by Napoleon Bonaparte, apparently. But what you see is it's a lens. What we have here is a 17th century microscope. And it's a lens and a mirror. What we have here, I've talked about many times on Flat Earth British, okay, is a lens in weaponry technology. This mirror is a flat lens that reflects light, and it can be useful for stopping enemy ships from entering the harbour. Okay, but in peacetime, guys, in peacetime, we've been using them for centuries. Okay, mirrors. So what is the effect on your brain when you look into a mirror? What is the effect on your brain when you look into a mirror? Oh. Mirrors are here to remind us of what fools we are. Really? So when you look in the mirror in the morning, guys, is it to remind you are a fool? Hang on a minute. Could both globe earthers and flat earthers be fools of someone's illusion game? Just let that slide a second. Now, I'm going to show you a video Okay, now, absolutely mind-blowing, right? Yeah, right. So we have an explanation, guys. So this is just an illusion. Even though you're looking at the blocks, you're fooled. And when you look into the mirror, you're also fooled. The real shape is somewhere in between. So here's an explanation. Allow me to mute my microphone, okay?
How's it going, guys? Devin here with Make Anything, and I just wanted to share with you this awesome illusion that I just reverse engineered. I'll post a link in the description to the original, but basically this video blew up on Reddit of this illusion, and everyone was asking for someone to 3D print it, so I whipped this up as fast as I could. So yeah, as you can see from this side it looks like a square, and from this side it looks like a circle. So I'll have an actual in-depth video on how I made this coming up later this week. But basically the way it works is the true shape is this. And this is actually what you get when you blend a circle into a square. This is the shape that's right at the middle. And then two of the sides are arching upwards and the other two are dipping downward, and that basically sort of corrects this hybrid squircle into either a square or a circle by compensating in opposite directions. So it's basically blending back into a square or blending back into a circle when the true shape is right in between. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, it's 2 in the morning. I don't have time to go into so much detail right now, but I will have a video soon, so please make sure to subscribe.
Okay, now we have an explanation. So what is really going on? So my point of view is, let's say my puzzle is this. Here's what the video shows, right? Is an object in front of a mirror, looks totally round, but when we look at it in a 45-degree angle perspective in the mirror, it looks totally square. When we look at the object from the same angle directly, when in fact the real shape is neither round nor square, but somewhere in between. Somewhere in between. Like this. Now, how about this? What if both are an optical illusion? Observer A says we live on a sphere since Earth is clearly round, has no corners at all, and since the Sun and Moon are probably spheres, Earth must be a sphere as well. Observer B says we live on a flat surface, ice melted by sun's heat. We dwell on dry lands and we sail on flat seas on a disc, inside a square with 4 guardian angels. What do you think, guys? So it comes down to how light enters through our eye lenses, is decoded by our brain, and this makes it a reality of its own, even if the shape is not the real shape. Now, excuse me. The video here. So turns out that there is a Oculus society. No, you mean occultist society. Well, they're almost the same word. It turns out that there is a secret society called the Oculist Society, and here's a video which will show you their coding and all about them. They're a secret society of eye doctors, oculists. I've been mentioned many times on Flat Earth British. I thought there was something going on with opticians. Now, this brings me back to hundreds of videos I've made, guys. I started out with the series What's the Real Age of Photography. I've talked about lenses, binoculars, telescopes, etc. It makes sense that those who had the knowledge of how light went through different kinds of lenses and could see what others couldn't, then they had more power than those with the naked eye. No wonder today all fake news comes through TV, movies, photographs, in newspapers, and all involve lenses, because without a camera you can't have any video or picture to show people. Now, yeah, mirroring and reflecting is definitely a thing to think about, because of the way we perceive shapes and colours through entering our mind through our lenses of our eyes greatly defines the way we think the world is. So it doesn't come as a big surprise that there was actually an oculist society. Now, it's all down to the lenses. Eye lenses, telescope lenses, reflecting lenses called mirrors, convex lenses. Convex lenses with combinations of some of or all of these. So let me think now of a world famous musical band that have a prism of light going through it, and they have one of the most famous album covers in the world. Can you think of anybody? How about Floyd? Yeah, Floyd are definitely one of the greatest bands ever. High-end social engineers. No, I know Pink Floyd, but they did have a song called Mud Men on Metal album. So Pink Floyd, it's a nice joke. That'd be a nice cover also. So they have amazing stage shows which are Tavistock engineered. Here they are. This was in 2015 tour. Pink Floyd with Roger Waters on drums. We have Nick Mason and Dave Gilmore on guitar. They look beautiful. Okay, well, what this one looks like to me, guys, it looks like a dome. It looks like it's got stars in it, and in the middle is a lens, maybe an eye, which is a lens, which we all know is a gateway or a portal through which sound and light, vibrational waves enter or exit that can provoke or absorb emotions. So just a random decoration, really? Even the musicians are probably not fully aware, but you can rest assured that the Tavistock Institute, okay, made this decoration, okay? The guys, they don't choose this. The next one is pretty interesting. This one, to me, it looks like an FE model. In fact, it looks like we're looking down on the North Pole Hall, and above it is a Earth. Yet another lens decoration from Pink Floyd. Here. Oh. Big round disc not only looks like a human eye, but it may be also representing the sun and the moon, or camera lenses, telescope or microscope. They know when we see a photograph or something on TV or on a video or on YouTube or in a photograph or in a newspaper or a magazine, we react on those shapes, colours and stories in the same way as if they were a reality, even though we're told that it's just a movie, a photograph or a fictional story. We all think we are entertained. We look at it, we project a reality on those video or picture. But we have but have we ever thought that Pink Floyd were telling us it was the other way? We are in fact being sucked into a portal. They even showed us that time is also fake. In our lives, we are sucked into a portal called the watch, and we can't get out. Even though we throw a watch away, it won't make any difference, because we still need to get up on time, to pay our rent on time, to go to work to 9 to 5 on time, and it is all our imagination. Sure. Encyclopedia, letters in encyclopedia, all fake. Surprise? What about this one? The shape of the atom. Is the shape of the atom also just our imagination? The next declaration is mind-blowing, to say the least. So, what do you think? Do you think it's normal for basically a pop concert of a group to show viruses and germs under a microscope in some instrumental amazing concert? Really? Do you think they did this? No. The Tavistock Institute did this for the audience and the many people who will be seeing this in the future. It's quite mind-blowing. The next one is the wall of the dome made of bricks with the portal or the lens inside. The next one is mysterious. Could this be telling us what the sun really is? Borealis. What about this one? Now, this is the album cover from an earlier album from 1987. Okay, and what you note on the cover of this album is it's loads of hospital beds in some kind of field hospital ready for thousands of sick people. Now, this poster or this decoration was on their Pink Floyd's concert in 2016. Yeah, it's showing the year of 1987. So what is the significance? Is there a pandemic that year of 2016 or 1987? No, we checked, there wasn't. But wait, if you had the number, their favourite number, 33, what do you get? Yeah, bingo. Yeah, today. And they tell you. So that's to conclude that piece of this puzzle for now, but we go a lot deeper next time. And what I want to talk about next is something that come my way when it got posted by Global Vision a few weeks ago, and then it was mirrored by John Levy. Now, guys, I can't exactly state what is going on here. It is too mind-blowing to perceive. But I will talk about it because of what is going on concerning when we just talked about portals and these lenses. Okay? Now, just give me a moment, please. Now, John Levy posted this, and what it shows is that there are loads of incredible properties to this so-called Red Mercury in this video. It's attractive, attracts gold, electromagnetic anomalies, etc, etc, etc. It is freaky, but by far the most mind-blowing thing about this, if it's real, is that Red Mercury does not reflect in a mirror. Right? It is absolutely super cool. There's no doubt about it. Now, John Levy is one of the greatest YouTubers in history. There's no doubt about it. He's one of the greatest out there. But he forgot to add, I missed something, or they both did. Wanted to add Red Mercury into this series somewhere along the line, but basically we're going to have to try and find out exactly what's going on. Okay? So what freaks me out is John says it doesn't reflect light, so we don't see it in the mirror. But this is only partially true. It does reflect light, but it doesn't reflect light twice, which is very weird. I can't explain it, guys. Look, this is what we know about reflection of light, okay? When daylight or artificial light hits a blue object, what really happens is the object absorbs all colours except the blue, but only blue light waves bounce back, and then they will say, well, this is blue. If we look into the mirror, though, we capture a second reflection of light rays of an object that are in front of the mirror. It depends on the quality of the mirror. You'll see about the same colours, except the shape will horizontally be inverted. Okay, now we all pretty much know that, okay, about light waves, but in this case, guys, the weirdest thing ever, guys, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen, is if you place red mercury in front of this mirror, the mirror eats that red light. So it cannot be reflected or seen by the viewer. Everything in the mirror that is red from the mercury is swallowed, almost as if into another dimension. Why on earth would the mirror absorb those red waves? You can see in this video as well that I'll show you now that this fella puts a red pen, and the red pen shows up no problem, but red mercury, there's a red pen, shows up, it reflects the light waves back, you see the red, but with red mercury it is eaten by the mirror. I've been reading alchemical books. We're going to be digging deeper with this part of the puzzle, guys. It is quite mind-blowing. I can't imagine what's going on. I'm going to come back for a second and have a word with you all. Peace and love. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, I know. It is a mind blow. But it is something to be looked at. And it is a reality.